Good evening, friends. This is Laura with Potpourri of Life. Hope you had a great day. This evening what I'm making is I am making some gluten and dairy-free chicken nuggets. If you have kids or you have grandkids that like chicken nuggets, but you can't have them because you're gluten intolerant or dairy intolerant, there is an option for you. So I am going to show you how to make it, and I'll give you the recipe and everything. But first what I'm going to do is you take a couple of eggs. 2 eggs is what I've doubled this because I have 2 pounds of chicken. So I'm going to give you the recipe for 1 pound of chicken, but I'm going to be making this for 2 pounds. So I've got my eggs, and it calls for 2 eggs. So you mix them up, and I am going to move the camera down so you can see what's going on. Put some salt and pepper in it, not a lot, or whatever your preference is. And the other thing you want to do is put a tablespoon of water for every 2 eggs. So if you're doubling it, you would do 2 tablespoons. That's what I'm doing. So if you have 2 eggs, you only need 1 tablespoon. So and just mix it up until it's well mixed. And as you're getting your other ingredients together, you can go and mix it up a little bit just to make sure that it's all mixed in there really good. The next thing that you need to do is you need to have a pound of chicken chopped into bite-sized pieces. And I've already done that. And what I do with my chicken, even though it's already cut because I wanted to go quickly for you, I wash my chicken, wash my hands, then I cut it into pieces. And then while I'm putting all the ingredients together, I let it sit in the water for a little bit just to keep it moist. So I have a pound, well I have 2 pounds, but it's a pound of boneless chicken breast. Then, now there's a way you can do this. If you're dairy free, you're going to be alternating the Parmesan cheese. Now you don't have to alternate the Parmesan cheese. I choose to. I'm doing it in this one. I've made this before and it's really, really good. So what you want to do is, for the basic recipe is, is you'll have 3/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. To substitute that is what you use is hemp seed, nutritional yeast, and then you can throw in some garlic powder, onion powder, and some salt. These are available on the market. I have to get some more whole hemp seed, so that's empty now. And I did have some nutritional yeast that I'm using. If you don't have those ingredients and you are fine with Parmesan cheese, 3/4 cup. Now those with dairy allergies, it depends on how bad the allergy is. I can sometimes use Parmesan cheese, but I wanted to make this because when my daughter visits, she's very strict on no dairy. For myself, I prefer no dairy, and so when I can make a substitution, that's what I'm going to do. So the recipe calls for 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. If you do not want the Parmesan cheese, or you don't have any, you can substitute again with hemp seed, nutritional yeast, garlic powder, onion powder, and salt. And those last 3 items you can put into your Parmesan cheese as well if you want. Now how much do you put of each of them? You kind of like take the measurement. It's a 3/4 cup, so it's going to be 3/8 of one and 3/8 of another. And then the other ingredient to keep this gluten-free is to use almond flour. 3/4 cup of almond flour. I'm going to go over all of this, and then use seasonings to your liking. You can use let's see, onion powder, and I already put some in. And I'm not using fresh because some people don't have it fresh. So you can have minced onions, you can have onion powder, and you can have garlic powder. whatever it works for you. And then you mix it into, mix those powder ingredients together. So I will show you this. So that's pretty well mixed in, and you can see all the wonderful things that are in here, or at least I hope. On my end, it's hard to tell if you can. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put some olive oil into my pan. And get that cooking. And get it warmed up. And then now that the eggs are pretty well done, and I'm ready to start dipping the chicken in, I just take pieces, and you're going to be doing this in batches. Like, I can't fit all the chicken into the egg mixture. But I'm going to put in quite a bit of chicken pieces. They're just chicken nugget size. So you get them coated in your egg mixture. And then what you do is you put them in to your flour mixture. Now this is going fast because I have it all pre-done for you, so you didn't have to sit there and watch me make each aspect of this. And you mix that all in. You get it all mixed in with the coating. You know the bacon shake type idea? That's kind of what you're doing, but you're not baking it. You're going to be frying this, but you're coating it just like that. Okay, I'm going to go back so you can see me cooking this. And the stove is warm, the griddle is hot. So I am now going to put these chicken pieces in to fry. Now David and I tried this the other night, and we both really liked it. And back then I had a little bit more than 2 pounds. Today I have 2 pounds. So, alright, so while that's cooking, I'm going to put the rest of the chicken into the egg mixture. And yeah, you can put all your chicken into the egg mixture at first. Or you can do it a little bit at a time. And as you're doing this, just keep an eye on the chicken that is in the grill. Now somebody might ask, well, can I bake this? If you do, I don't see why you can't. I have never done it because I like doing a lot of things on the stove. Let me get this out of the way. And so I'm going to mix all this chicken into this egg mixture. And I'm using a different utensil so that the raw egg doesn't get mixed in with the chicken that's cooking. And you just turn it over. And if you find that your oil, you don't have enough in there, you just add as you go. And I'm actually going to add a little bit more. Now what else can you use? If you're not dairy intolerant, you can use butter. But I prefer to use olive oil in some dishes, and this is one of them. And as that's cooking, I'm just transferring the egg-coated chicken into the flour blend. And the reason I'm doing that, it's just much easier than doing individual pieces. Did not mean to do that. So what I'm doing is I'm making a double batch. No, David and I will not eat this much chicken in one setting. We will eat probably half of it or less, so half a pound or less. And we'll have, tonight I'm planning on broccoli as our side. And because I steam it, I don't need to do it until all this is completed. Okay. Then just mix it all into that mixture. If you're one who likes the shake and bake idea, yeah, go ahead and put the flour mixture into a bag. That will work as well. My goal in showing you things is to give you options on what you can do to make a quick evening meal. For me, why is this quick even though I'm doing it kind of the long way, is because once it's all cooked, I can put segments into the freezer, and then when I have company or if we need a quick meal, this is something we can take out and heat up in the oven. Now, if somebody wanted to cook this in the oven, do 350, I'm guessing here, 20 to 30 minutes. So watch it until you know what works best for you. I don't do it that way, but this is looking really good. But when I go to reheat the leftovers, I will be putting it in the oven for 350 for about 10 to 20 minutes, probably 20 minutes so that it heats up. I'm going to see, the light is going to be a little bit off. I just want to be able to see a little bit. Sorry about that. The chicken is all set, so I can take it off the grill. And I'm going to turn the oven off because I can finish this after I talk with you. Because I'm going to make all of them in here. And this is what it looks like after. And you can see that it's cooked through. It didn't take very long. The longest part of this whole recipe is actually prepping the ingredients. And even still, when I put all these things together, it took maybe 5-10 minutes to mix everything. You throw in the eggs in one container with salt and pepper. The cutting of the chicken is the longest, okay? And then you take your powdered mixes, your flour, and your choice of whether Parmesan or an alternate. Mix those together. And as I said, you could do this as a shake and bake where you just put it in a bag and then take your chicken after it's been coated in egg, and then take that and then just take them out of there little by little. I'm going to start cooking a few of these. So it's really a nice, easy meal. And as I mentioned, it's something that I made the other night for my husband and I. And it turned out fabulously. So I'm going to repeat this for you so that you have an option on how you want to do it. This is really, it's hot. I'm not going to taste it yet. I will in a minute though. And you can see that it's cooked through. And it just has a real nice flavor. It does not taste gluten-free, I promise you. So I'm not going to have you watch me cook the whole meal. But again, it's a gluten and dairy-free recipe. Although if you want to use Parmesan cheese, you can. So it's 1 pound of boneless chicken breast, washed, cleaned, and cut into chicken nugget size. Then you put those aside, and like I said, I took mine because I was working with everything else, I didn't want it to dry out. I just put some filtered water over the chicken. And then I took 2 eggs. Yes, I doubled it, but I'm giving you the recipe. 2 eggs, and you mix it up. Add some salt and pepper into there. And then, in a separate bowl, 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese and 3/4 cup of almond flour. And you want that in equal parts. Now say you do not want, you want it to be dairy free. I have that on a real low temp so it's not cooking as fast. If you don't want the Parmesan, okay, so you got the 3/4 cup of almond flour. The other 3/4 cup is going to be made up of 3/8 cup of hemp seeds, 3/8 cup of nutritional yeast. Add in some garlic powder, onion salt, whatever you want for flavoring. You can put some herbs in there as well. And then you take the chicken, dip it in your egg mixture, and then take that and throw into your powdered mix, your coating mix. Now, as I said, because it came to my mind as I was cooking, you don't want to put it in a bowl. You want to take all those flour mixtures, throw it in a Ziploc bag, and shake it up, or in a bowl so you don't have to waste plastic bags. They have containers with covers on it that seal. Put it all in there, and you can shake up your chicken that way so it's all nicely and evenly coated. Really easy. You put it in on the stove using olive oil. That's my choice of cooking oil. You do you. I don't stand in judgment. And you will have a lovely meal of chicken nuggets. The grandkids will like it, your kids will like it, and your hesitant family member who is not gluten-free or has to be gluten-free with their meals, you'll find that they like it. I try to be really careful on how I make meals so that they taste good for my husband, because he will support anything that I make that's gluten-free, but if it tastes like it's gluten-free, and some flours do that. I know that early on when I was cooking gluten-free products, making gluten-free items, the recipes that were out there were horrible. And I mean, I wouldn't eat them. But now I've been doing this for maybe 12 years. Maybe it's been that long. So I've learned how to mix my powdered ingredients to make them gluten-free and tolerable. So I hope this is helpful. And what can you do, like, say you want a coating. You can have sweet and sour sauce. Like tonight, we're going to have steamed broccoli on the side. But if this isn't flavorful enough, and I don't know why, because this is pretty flavorful. But say your kids want something a little bit more tasty. Have some sweet and sour sauce. Kids like ketchup on everything. I guess you could do ketchup. My husband, the other night, decided on sweet and sour sauce. So use whatever you think is best for you and your family. And when you can't find chicken nuggets on the shelf, just make sure you have some boneless chicken breasts available in your freezer. Another tip, when you have chicken and it's coming out of the freezer, this was fresh chicken I picked up at the store the other day. If you take your chicken out of the freezer, and it's going to be really solid, let it defrost, but not completely, but enough so that you can get your knife through. It'll cut up so much easier. I hope that you liked this little easy chicken nugget recipe. I think you'll enjoy it, and I think your kids, your husband, your children will like it too. So this is going for the people who are gluten intolerant. Okay, so you're not gluten intolerant, but you were curious about this video. What can you do? Because you don't want gluten-free flour and stuff. Just use regular flour. But with your regular flour, add some seasonings into it, because I think regular flour is boring because I've got hemp seed and I've got nutritional yeast in here. And yes, that was the replacement from the Parmesan cheese. It just gives the meal character. So if you're going to use Parmesan cheese and you're going to use regular flour, use nutritional yeast, and or if you don't want to use them both, use the hemp seed. It's really, this is really good. And so I hope that you take a chance to try it. I hope that you subscribe, you like, you comment. And if you do try this, I ask that you come back and you share with me your feedback. Did your family like it and stuff? This is a recipe that I made up because I wanted to have something that I could enjoy quick. And because I'm making so much, I put them in the freezer in our serving size portions so I can just take it out. If the grandkids come over, I take 2 or 3 out. Depends on how much company. So I hope you have a great evening, and I hope you enjoy this recipe. May God bless you.